Hey guys, I'm Nito King. I'm bringing you Rayman today with a special guest.
Hey everybody, this is Terravan speaking.
And you may notice no loading screen. Through the magic
Ooh,
of I went straight from Allegro Presto to this level.
ah,
So, Terravan, what's your experience with Rayman?
uh, this is new, unseen territory for me.
As in, you haven't seen any of the videos, or...
Oh, I've seen your videos, I've just never played this game for myself.
So you've never experienced the joy of things being thrown at you like that.
Nope, not at all.
And these bongo guys,
They're a delight, which is a complete mystery to me.
I don't even know if they're supposed to be some kind of religious figures, or one would hope musicians.
Well, they're playing the bongos as hard as they can.
I don't know, normally playing the bongos involves hitting the top of them, not hitting them against each other.
Well, they're playing with the eyes that are painted on them. It's close enough for them. They're happy.
I just love the way they look when they've got those bongo eyes in front of their faces. Some kind of weird scowl. I have a
So
lot
is this a
of...
particular... So, I have no idea what the physics of Rayman are, so, was this a particularly difficult segment here, or...?
No, that was just me screwing up.
Ah.
But these bouncy clouds are not always as responsive as you'd like. Sometimes they do weird things. I know there's one somewhere in the Blue Mountains where it's so close to the ground under it that half the time you jump on the cloud and then it goes back up and you don't.
Oh dear, well, that can't be good at all.
Especially not when you're trying to time a jump off it and onto something that's so far out of reach you can barely make it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the physics in this game, as far as I can tell, is designed to make everything as difficult as possible. Like the rest of the game.
Well, everyone loves a challenge.
Except the people who put the fourth cage in this level.
Yeah.
So this part of the level, at least, is not that difficult. I mean, aside from the fact that if you miss any of these jumps by too much, you're gonna fall to your death.
Well, doesn't seem there's any, like, any large games here.
I think this part of the level was designed that you should be able to get through it without using the hair helicopter, even though I've now got it.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of a tutorial of everything you've already done in the game.
Well, just a chance to sit back and relax, enjoy the music.
Until this part. I don't know what's up with that giant ball. But
He's just playing some ball, just hanging out.
I think I barely managed to stay on that.
Ah, I see.
Now this is the hard part of the level. This is everything that the game has to throw at you in one area. It's
Auto-scrolling, I see.
auto-scrolling, lightning eyes, surprise visits from anti-tunes.
Oh, took a hit there.
It's a huge test of reflexes. Like most of the rest of the game.
Well,
But it's really the physics of auto-scrolling that I think really gets to me here. Because you gotta get past parts like this.
oh,
And I
Meh.
almost died right there.
oh dear.
Because if you so much as touch the left side of the screen, you die. Just drop dead.
Oh. Nobody's perfect.
Especially not me. But, I mean, once you've lost a life, the hard part is getting to the full health pickup without getting hit 3 times. Because you don't really have a whole lot of choice. You've got to make these jumps as soon as the far side appears, and then you're jumping right on top of an anti-tune. Or you wait a couple seconds and you're jumping right on top of an anti-tune and hitting the left side of the screen. I'm pretty sure it's possible to make it past that mallet, and I'm pretty sure I did it once. Ever.
So it doesn't seem that difficult. I mean, after you say you screw up a couple times, at least it seems like you should have a chance to memorize what's coming up.
True.
So you learn from your mistakes.
The problem is that if you die a couple times at every opportunity to make a mistake, you're gonna run out of lives and continues long before the end of the game.
That's true too.
I mean, that was my second time through the level, and my first time I only got 5 of the cages. So I would have had to go through a second time and do all of that stuff again.
Ah.
But since that was such a short level, it was less than 6 minutes, I figured I'd toss in a recording of Mr. Sax's Hullaballo. And this time, just for fun, I threw in my first recording.
Ooh.
So this is the first time that I've played this level in something like 15 years.
So what should I expect here?
You haven't figured that out yet? I mean, you've been seeing my 5th or 6th or 20th runs through most of these levels, and it's a hotbed of gross incompetence.
So the first recording tends to be a bit of a disaster.
Well, there's a reason that I haven't put up any of my first recordings until now.
Ah.
Now, granted, most of the Dream Forest levels were not my first recording because I was still trying out the technical part of the process. So, cage down there, I don't see any obvious way to get to it, but because I haven't been through the level yet, I don't know where the entrance is, I go back to look. Stick my face into a spike. And then I just have to give up and move on with the level and assume there's something I'll see later.
There's another cage.
Yep, this one's nice and obvious.
Well.
And they give you a real break in this level. You know, it's easy enough. My first recording was good enough to keep. Sadly, the second time I went to... Yeah. The kind of embarrassing mistake I try to avoid making when I can see it coming. But my second time through the level, because I was looking for a cage that I missed the first time, I found the cage, but I lost a bunch of lives. So, I don't know what it is. Maybe the first time through I was thinking too much, or not thinking enough. And the second time I just fell apart.
Well, you got 24 lives. That ain't that much to worry about, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to be keeping the recording anyway at that point.
Well,
but
yeah.
I mean, this is probably the trickiest part of the level right here.
All the eyes.
Everywhere.
Oh.
And they conveniently threw me right into the cage.
I wasn't expecting that cage at all.
I certainly wasn't either. But
So they do it every now and then, just throw a cage out there, man. Just make sure you get it.
And that's one advantage of the PlayStation version over the PC version. The cages tend to be in much easier to get to locations.
I've always wondered why they would change it like that.
My guess is they needed to simplify a lot of stuff for the PlayStation version. So that's how I get to this cage. And then somehow I end up on top of the ledge, so I gotta go all the way back around.
Just a short little detour.
Yep. Especially double speed.
Oh. This is a little bit of convenience for the folks at home.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually played it at that speed.
Oh, I see.
But that one spot there, I think I remembered it vaguely from all those years ago, that you had to make that jump there. But it is also the only visible secret point that I've seen in the entirety of this version. PC version, you see a lot more of those sparkles.
Ah.
And, of course, I'm wasting time walking all the way back for the gold fist. Because you never know when you'll find a cage because you went back for a power-up. And I very skillfully dropped myself right between the ledges.
Oh.
And I have no way to get back up.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
But you're only right there.
Yeah, I became very familiar with this part of the level. Which is good, because like I said, I'm going to have to do it again.
Alright.
I keep barely making that jump. And then, of course, this time I actually do need the gold fist.
Well, you gotta have those power-ups.
Well, especially the gold fist. Without that, most of the game becomes a lot tougher.
Yeah, I can certainly tell it's quite the useful ability in that.
Now, if I were up on the top ledge, then I would have found the cage. So I just went across the bottom ledge every single time and never revealed it. I'm pretty sure you can also get across this part if you're small, which is the reason that they put another blue elf at the bottom. But I'm not going to make it across that gap while I'm small, so I gotta become big again. And of course, I'm not checking too hard for cages at this point, because A, I don't expect I'm going to be keeping this recording, and B, I have no idea how much longer the level's going to be.
Ah. So the levels tend to vary wildly in length.
Pretty much. I mean, this level is mainly just one gigantic area. This one area has all 6 cages in it.
Ah.
And if I were rushing through it, I could probably beat it in not much more time than Gong Heights took. But that one was just really short. And the same thing with the first level of the Blue Mountains. It just took me almost no time when I went through without losing a bunch of lives. And for once I decided not to go for the near-death power-up. I don't know if there's a way to get across that symbol without getting hurt or not. There probably is, like jump out at the last minute, but I hate these hooks. I hate these hooks so much. And I don't know what it is. I think it's the controls in this version, but for some reason, half the time when he grabs the hook, he just immediately lets go. And some of them are hard enough to hit in the first place. And then he's letting go of them as soon as he grabs them. So I had to speed this part up, because it was going to just take too long.
So I guess it comes a little bit picky.
I don't know about picky so much as I'm probably just doing something wrong, like holding the button for too long. Or holding a direction that I shouldn't be.
Well, you still got a lot of game yet, I imagine.
Yep. But I'm determined to make that impossible jump, and then it was taking too long, so I sped it up a little more. This thing, you just gotta jump while it's swinging you up to get the momentum, and then you actually have to hit the hook up at the top. And it was going too slow, so I sped it up again.
Oh my.
But I finally made it, and then I fell down.
Nothing like a little trial and error.
Yeah, I'm guessing about 1 time in 20 I actually managed to jump at the right time. And then half of the time, if I do manage to hit the stationary hook up there, he just lets go right away. Which normally isn't so bad, except that the jump to get back to it is that much harder. So yeah, I'm sitting here watching my video get longer and longer, and then finally I managed to make it up. And then I fall down again.
Oh, jeez.
I will not give up. Especially since
Well, you can't give up.
something that's this hard to get to has got to be a cage.
I'm hoping it is.
I'm just so pissed off at this point. But then I remember I've got the hair helicopter to help me.
Ah. That should make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, when you're using the grapple, the hair helicopter is not the first thing that occurs to you, but...
Well.
With that, even if I do fall, I'm not going to fall too far. And I should finally make it to the top. See?
Almost.
Yep, I saved myself.
Yeah, sometimes I can really see what you're talking about there, where you hit it, and then a couple of those slash effects appear, and then suddenly you're not holding it anymore.
Yep.
Strange.
And I managed to make it in one try. And then... I can't get any higher. And then, just when everything seems its bleakest, I have made it to the one-up! And the face in the clouds.
Bearded face.
And no cage.
What a fantastic reward.
Fantastic! And
my sentiments exactly.
Utterly soul-crushing. So I'm hoping that there's another cage in the next scene. What I didn't expect was to come face to face with Mr. Sax. But we already saw at the end of Allegro Presto how we can damage him.
Oh, yes.
But we still haven't had the boss chase sequence for this world yet. So we have to indulge in that. Meanwhile, he's left all these notes scattered around, so we can take him down to about half health before the actual fight begins.
Well, that's convenient.
And the good news is that since this is a boss chase auto-scroll, if I get caught at the left side of the screen, I think he just knocks you to the right and takes off one hit point. I don't plan to let him do that.
Well, nobody plans to get hit.
I mean, nobody wants to go back for a useless gold fist and risk anything. And then, the other disappointment of this being my first time through the level. I didn't realize there was a one-up there.
Ah. Oh, well.
Could have grabbed it if I saw it coming. But here's Mr. Sax himself. And at this point, it's all a matter of pattern recognition. Which I'm not very good at.
So is that all he does? Just throw bombs at you?
Pretty much.
Well,
he throws bombs, he occasionally throws notes, which is the only time you can hurt him, and he jumps.
How exciting.
But he's got a lot of different patterns, and if you don't remember them from about 15 years ago like I do, they'll catch you off guard, and you'll probably lose a couple of lives. You know, like if you try to walk under him during the second jump there.
Alright.
And when he's moving left to right, he'll jump 3 times. Right to left, he'll jump, walk, jump.
So once you get him down pat, it's just a matter of time.
Pretty much, all I gotta do is wait for the notes, and at this point he throws a note and a bomb at the same time, so I've got to charge up and hit it from a distance. And then...
I'm trying to confuse.
Yeah, 3 bombs at once is pretty much the same thing as dodging 2 bombs. It's a case of, it has to be a pattern that you can dodge, and therefore you just need to know where to stand. And at this point, I think he's just given up. Hey, let me just use the same attacks that I've used all these other times. And just spit a note out there for you. And we're just basically winding down to the end, so that's Mr. Sax's Hullabaloo. What'd you think?
Seemed pretty exciting. Some chills, some thrills, a little both.
Yeah, a lot of spills, various ills. Pays
I
the
love
bills.
this music.
I think he's got my second favorite boss music.
Yeah, music's not half bad in this game.
I love the music. I used to listen to the soundtrack all the time. But that's the end of our video. See you next time, everyone.
See ya.